Oh, okay. I had to go live first. Technology is weird. Okay. Cool. I believe we're live.
Nice. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi.
All right. So welcome everyone to our May edition of Fintech Open House. We are super excited to be here again and to have everyone join us in this month's edition. This is the first version we're doing on YouTube. So if there's anything that falls apart, just bear with us and bear with technology. All right. So today we are going to be talking about security from the perspective of the user. It's a very important topic because if you have been paying attention on social media lately, you would know that we are basically in this space where there is a new scam every day. There is a new there's a new style that fraudsters are using every single day to defraud people. So we're going to be talking through some of the tips and tricks and systems that we can use to protect ourselves and our money online or when doing transactions with two very, very special experts in the fraud and financial security space. All right. So as usual, this is usually like 30 minutes as everyone is aware. So we'll be out of here in a moment. I'm going to share my screen and then we can start. All right, so welcome to Fintech Open House. For those who are not familiar with or who have not been a part of this before, our Fintech Open House is a session where we basically come together, pick a particular topic, a particular theme, and we answer questions about that particular theme. This month, our theme is on financial security or transaction security or fraud. And yeah, we're going to start. Ify, do you want to kick us off by talking about our upcoming course?
Okay, so just take me to that slide. Hi, everyone. My name is Ify. So I'll just speak through the upcoming courses we have. If anybody is not conversant with what we do at Payment Log, we do three main things at Payment Log. We have a community we are building of fintech and payment experts and enthusiasts, people that are starting out in the field. And all we are doing is basically forming a watering hole for people to come and learn, share information. Some of it is paid, some of it is not, like what we are doing right now. So if you're interested, there'll be a link, after the session to for you to join. So we have a community. We do a lot of sharing of learning materials like news, thought leadership articles, and then different kinds of content for learning. And we also have a training academy where we are focusing on the major problems we've seen in the fintech and payments ecosystem. And one of them that has been a problem for a while, albeit hidden, is the problems we have with the fintech back office, aka operations. And so we have that course coming up later on this June. We'll be communicating dates. Essentially what we are doing is understanding, for us to come and understand the flow of financial value in the fintech ecosystem end to end, because it's not enough to know how to do your apps in React, or know JavaScript. You need to know it within the financial system domain, how to secure transactions in your apps from end to end, how to quickly detect that there are problems in the system when customers use them so you can proactively solve them so they don't overwhelm you and they don't water down your brand when people start yabbing you on Twitter. And it goes on and on and on like that, including things like guidelines for managing payment returns and exceptions. You must have heard about chargebacks if you're building a fintech or if you're working in a fintech, as well as best practices for setting up accounts for merchant acquiring, which is almost like the biggest sector for fintech in Nigeria. Everything is tied to a merchant somewhere. Because fintech is really about using your money to buy something. So that course is coming up. And then if you're interested, you can comment, in the chat. I'll hand over to Fei-Kemi.
Thank you. All right. So today we have two powerhouses because I'll allow Ify to introduce them as we go along. But we're joined today by Mosumola, who is a fraud specialist at FCMB, as well as Olaolu, who is a product manager who has a lot of background and experience in fraud transaction security space. All right, so let's jump right into it.
Yes, so I'll take over from here, right?
Yes.
So the first question will be for Mosun. Mosun, somebody sent in this question, and the person says, unknown people keep calling me with my correct details. So they would call me and they will tell me my name, of course, read my correct phone number to me, read my BVN, that one is disturbing. I even have my account number and my bank. So let's say my name is Ify. So they were like, oh, hello, oh, are you Ify? Do you work in UBA? I mean, do you bank with UBA or any bank or GTB or any bank, you know? Is this your account number? Oh, your account is about to be blocked. And I'm sending you a code, you know, something. So somebody asked, how do they get all my details? Are the banking systems compromised? Mosun, over to you.
Hi, good evening once again. I would say the banking systems are not compromised. One of the ways fraudsters get a customer's account, phone number, for example, and name of the customer is through Truecaller app. I'm sure everyone is aware of this application. So a fraudster just randomly selects numbers or dials numbers on Truecaller application, and it pops up the person's name. Then the fraudster goes ahead to call the person, and it will be like, for example, hello, hi, I'm Mike. Am I on to Mosumola? I'm calling from your bank. Then in that process, the fraudster goes ahead to ask you for your card details, your PIN, your OTP, so many information that could be disclosed. Another way a fraudster can get your details, your account number, for example, is via the USSD code or a mobile application. And the fraudster randomly dials or selects different account numbers, just randomly tries out account numbers. And you know, once you use this application, it pops up different banks attached to a particular account number. So once an account number pops up a name, so definitely that account number has that name, and that's how they get account numbers too. And
okay, so that reminds me about something. And when people are doing giveaway on social media, and people, you know, keep putting their names and their account number on social media, I see some people like on Twitter or even on Instagram commenting, oh, don't be putting your account number here, don't put your account number here. Is that the reason why people write those things? And is that the way some people could expose themselves?
Yes, it's also part of it. Yes, it's also part of it. For example, we have some online sites now that's probably, for example, a loan app. People want to borrow loan online, and they just give out all their details, fill out the forms online, they put their BVN, their name, their account number, the bank. That's another way they could be exposed because they don't know who is on the other end getting their information.
Okay, I mean, that's very, very insightful. It makes sense because I was reading something, I think it was yesterday, and somebody said that they are not really licensed, because I was about to ask you, are you saying that loan companies, you know, that are licensed by whatever body, CBN or whoever, you know, will be divulging people's details? But what this person said he does is that they make dummy sites and they just put it out there and pretend that they are loan companies, you know, and then people filling their details there. So the learning point from these guys is whatever or wherever portal you're registering your details, you know, on social media, or whether it's a portal on an app or a platform, just be sure, you know, about the source of where it is you're putting your sensitive details, because it might just be entering an archive, you know, that belongs to fraudsters. Good one, Mosun. We'll be moving to the next question.
Thank you very much.
So Ola, the next question goes to you, and this one is very, very, I'm very, very interested in this one. So this person says, we know in Nigeria, you cannot have one card, you cannot have one banking app. If not, you'll be stranded somewhere, because when one thing is down or one bank is behaving somehow, you have another one, you know, to rescue you. Even though people like Monson will not agree, I'm sure she'll be saying that FCMB is the best. Yeah, but we know how these things work here. And then this person says, I have many, banking apps and cards. I cannot be keeping or remembering passwords of all of them in my head. So I would put them on my phone, and you're saying that we shouldn't write these things on our phone. So what are the options for storing them securely, apart from keeping them on my phone, which I do today? Over to you, Ola.
Okay, thank you very much, Ify. So, I mean, if you ask any security expert or anyone that is into fraud management, the first thing they will tell you is that you should never store your personal information, things like PIN, password, anywhere, because you never can tell. They can be compromised. I mean, that doesn't mean that there are no digital ways of storing those information. But the most important thing is that you need to, as much as possible, be careful with how you store your information. And I mean, a rule of the thumb is that, so take for example, I know there are so many apps, so many things that you have to authenticate, you have to put in password. But one way in which you can ensure that you do not probably forget, or you do not lose all those things, it will be in terms of if you pretty much use passwords that you can remember, and that doesn't remove the complexity in those passwords. So if you use things that you can easily remember, then issues around, oh, I have so many passwords, may not come in. And then also the fact that I mean, some people store their passwords in Google and then authenticate, ensure that they put OTP to still ensure that those information are secured. But one thing is that no matter where you store those information, if you compromise the main password or the main authentication in which you're using to actually retrieve where those passwords are stored, then all your passwords are compromised at that point. And if your details are compromised, the first thing you need to do, if they are banking information, you need to report to your bank. I mean, I think all the banks usually say this: if you lose your account details, if you lose anything pertaining to your account, the first thing you need to do is to report to your bank, just to ensure that people do not more or less wipe out your funds from the account. But all in all, what I'm saying is, for you to do things securely, if you need to really, really, really store your information, ensure that proper authentication is done in terms of ensuring that things like OTP, where you're going to store those information, it is authenticated. Only you can have access to how to retrieve those information. But if you cannot do
Ola,
that,
I'll need to interrupt you because I don't want to let you go off easily. So
okay.
Let's even start from the fact that a couple of us have a number of cards. If I count the cards in your wallet now, between the cards for the abroad and all those things, at least about 5 cards. Some people have cards from Master. It's true. Some people have cards from MasterCard, Visa, Home Card,
Yeah.
Well Card, all sorts of cards. They've told us don't use children's birthday or your birthday. So all those ones are passed. They've told us don't use 1, 2, 3, 4. That one has passed. You can say that I can store, I can use something I can remember, like Up Chelsea, or whatever, or Bitcoin is big. I can use all those things, as my password as share string. But for my PIN for my bank account, I mean, my PIN for my cards, how do I do that apart from storing it on a notepad in my phone? What are the ways around that?
Okay, so for your PIN, I mean, in my honest opinion, just like I said, any fraud expert will tell you that don't ever store your information anywhere. Like, just have it in your head. I mean, if you have 5 cards, they are 5 cards.
Oh, I think we lost Ola. Let's just hold on for him. Let's just hold on for him. If we hold on for a while and he hasn't come back, we might need to go to the next question for Musum. And I think we might need to do that. Faye, let's go to the next question for Musum so that by the time. Okay, so Musum, you'll be having question 4. So This affects a lot of our big aunties and mommies and daddies and uncles. So, they've not even caught up with the cards, not to talk about mobile apps and internet banking. Some of them, do internet banking because of the kind of transactions they do, and they can't go, to the bank branch. We're not talking about USSD and what they're calling it, and QR and some of all those things. So what steps can be taken to educate non-tech savvy elderly and then people like in the rural areas on cybercrime and financial fraud? What do you think?
Okay, first, I'd like to say the responsibility lies between you and I. Everyone has a responsibility to sensitize the elderly, the non-tech savvy people, and those in the rural area around us. We all have that responsibility to inform them not to divulge their details. Okay, there are ways by which fraudsters would call you up, who call you. Once they call you up and they start asking you for your card PAN, your ATM PIN, your OTP, you ensure you tell them not to disclose this. And once they are not comfortable with such conversation, they should end the call and visit their nearest bank for advice. Another way is to sensitize them on the need not to respond to emails that they are not sure of. Some of these emails sent by fraudsters are disguised in quotes. For example, a fraudster can send you an email using XYZ at xyzbank.com. And meanwhile, once you click on the email, there's a drop down, you see the real email, probably badboys.com. So they should be sensitive, they should be observant, and they should not click on websites that are not secured. One of the ways you know if a website is secured, it has the HTTPS with the padlock sign. Once a website doesn't have that, please do not click. Sensitize them not to click on such links. Another way is by that they've come up with now through social engineering. That's like the WhatsApp banking. Some of them could just receive a chat on their phone and say, "Hi, I mistakenly sent you a code. Please, can you give me that code?" That's a way of telling them not to respond. You shouldn't respond to such code. You shouldn't respond to such messages, I mean. Another way is also to tell them, like some of these people don't even know how to operate or use an ATM card on the ATM machine. Mm-hmm. Thereby they go to an ATM and they want to use it and someone offers to help them or assist them use the card. And thereby a fraudster can take advantage of the moment and swap their card on the machine. The next minute they're just receiving debit alerts. So in cases like that, if they don't know how to operate the ATM card, they walk into the nearest branch and ask for a withdrawal form or a bank staff to assist them on the machine and all. And aside we having the responsibility on informing them, the bank also has the responsibility on sensitizing their customers. They have to send text messages, emails, radio jingles. They can some of these banks now, they come up with innovative ideas by advertising on their ATM screen. I don't know if you might have seen that some banks have already started advertising on their ATM when you try to withdraw.
Yes, but can I bring you back to the question, because some of these things you're saying are a bit urbane, like they look like they apply to people that, adverts on the ATM machine will apply to somebody that is used to those kind of adverts. And most of the ATMs that have those things, in fact, let's even start from ground zero. ATMs are very dismally distributed around Nigeria, and that's the reason for the rise in the super agent, agency banking thing. So I'm just wondering, there are two categories. There are the elderly people. They are not savvy, but they might have the money, but they're just savvy. I guess my dad will fall into, that category of, he's always talking about you and this your ATM thing that you're doing, because he doesn't understand how somebody can build a career in payments. So that's one side. And then there are people that are in the rural areas. They are not necessarily that, they might not be too rich, but they have float, they have money that they are making from their business every day, maybe reinvesting it and all that. And we're saying these categories of people, I'm not sure, that the ATM adverts applies to them. So what we're saying is, what can be done, for them not to fall prey, and to break it down and bring it down to their level, maybe using things that they understand now.
Okay, bringing it down to their level. Most times, you and I might have received a call before from a fraudster. So they could, as well, a fraudster can as well call them up, asking them, just pretending as if they are bank staff or from their bank, that I'm from so and so bank. I would like to, am I talking to
your account is about to shut down. You're going to be telling my mom that my account is about to shut down. Wow.
Yes, or my bank is about to shut down, or your card has been blocked. Please, we would like you to renew it. We are going to send you a code now. Please, can you call out that code? So we just have to sensitize them not to reveal such OTPs. That's your one-time password or your whatever means. Don't reveal your card ban. Some of them might not even have a card, like you said, but they should not reveal any information, not even their bank account, nothing, not even their BVN. They should not reveal any information.
Okay, so I think I need to ask you this question as we close up this this session. Your own question right now. Is it possible that a bank will ever need to call you for something concerning your account, that if you don't pick up that call or answer that call, your account will be blocked? Is it possible?
It's not possible. It's not possible. If a bank is going to call you, it has to be through their designated customer service care line. And if they can't reach you, they'll probably send you an email or backup, or probably send an account officer to come and visit you up, asking you for some, to ask you whatever you need.
Okay, thank you. So guys, you heard that banks will not call anybody on any occasion, it won't happen. So whoever is calling you must be, there's no emergency anywhere, there's no CBN anywhere, there's no Bitcoin, anything happening to your bank account, anything that needs to be, blocked, and they need your help to block it. If not, all your money is missing. All those things are false. Please tell your people, okay? Thank you. So let's move to the next question. Hi, Ola, welcome back. Please, your network cannot be going off and on as a Chelsea, person. We're in celebration mode.
I apologize for that. I've changed my service provider, so I think it should be better.
Okay, so I think we should just move on to the next to manage time. So okay. Ola, there's this video that surfaced sometime this year, or was it during COVID? I don't know. I think it's this year, earlier this year, and it was some guy that was caught. He's a phone thief as well as a scammer. And he was relating in detail, because he spoke for a while in Yoruba, how he does the business that he does, and people that understood that video, were very disturbed. And I think so a few people, had to block their cards from doing transactions or something like that. And we'll just want your expert view, first of all, on what happened. We'll play the video a little bit, for our audience, and people that have not seen, so people that have seen it and they didn't understand. And we would like you to tell us from your expert view, what happened really, and then how can people protect themselves? So, Faye, let's do it.
Okay. All right, I'm going to play the video for just a few seconds. Can you see the video?
Yes, I can.
Can you hear it?
What do you mean share it?
Can you hear the sound from the video?
No, you're the one that's supposed to do it, because it's you're the one that's sharing. So it's supposed to be on your. If you check where you're sharing the screen, there's a little button.
It's on. It's on.
Okay, it's on now.
Yes.
Okay, so for you, we can continue.
Yeah, you can play on.
All right.
Interesting. Scary. Wow. Okay, so Ola, over to you. Just tell us what
thank you. I think that video actually trended on social media for I think about a week or thereabout, when the video was released. I mean, from what the guy described, I don't think you need to be, number one, the guy doesn't look like an educated person. So you don't have to be like a genius to do what he was doing. But one thing is for sure, for any fraud to happen, there must have been a compromise, internal compromise, or compromise from the customer or wherever. So if you listened carefully to what the guy was saying, the first step was the fact that someone compromised the SIM, his or her SIM. So there's that part where, number one, the guy got a hold of someone's SIM card, and which goes back to what I said in the beginning, right? Like, if you lose anything that is of value to you, your SIM card is now of value to you. Especially if you're active with, if you have a bank account, you should know that if you lose your phone, for example, you lose your SIM card, you must report to your bank that you've lost something, so that they can put a hold. It may be a temporal hold on your account pending when you probably reissue your PIN, or you get a new SIM card. But other than that, I think the best way to secure your SIM card against this kind of fraud is where you can lock your SIM. And it's pretty simple how you can get that done. Even this, to get this done as well, it's not really rocket science. You can do that while on your phone. There's a setting on your phone. If you just go to your settings, you probably, for Android users, or you can actually go to your biometrics or your security settings. You will see, just scroll down, you see something like SIM lock, and then you put you put your SIM pin. How do you get your SIM pin? You can do that. You can call your telco to ask them what their SIM pin is. A general knowledge. So once you get the SIM pin, and then you put it you put the SIM pin to lock your SIM. You can also change that pin to something that you want, so that even if someone gets hold of your pin, even if there's a SIM swap or there is something, you compromised your information, at that point, at least nobody can actually swap your SIM for another one. So at that point, you are secure. And a lot of telcos, most of the telcos actually advise this, for you to lock your SIM, so that even when there's a reissue or there's something, you at least your banking details are safe. But other than that, the best way to ultimately secure your account is, once you lose any of your valuables, you need to report to the bank. And just like Mosumola said, for anything that you need to do, if you get, just like you said, if you get a text message or you get something related to your account, for you to do anything that will change details of your account to anything, there are things that must be done at the bank, not something that they would pretty much complete on the phone, and they'll be asking you for code, asking you for several information. So, all in all, what I'm saying is, for you to secure your account, your SIM against SIM swap, you can actually do a SIM lock, and it's pretty simple. The settings are on your phone. And I think that's one way to secure that account. But if you had listened to what the guy had said, it was just pretty simple. Dial the particular short code, and that short code revealed all the account numbers linked to that particular SIM or that particular phone number. And from there, they started changing, They did a reset of the customer's password. Did a reset of.
Please, what does that mean? What does that mean?
Okay, so
what does reset of customer password mean? And let me tell you why I'm asking it.
Yes.
So people use the terms code, PIN, and password quite loosely. And sometimes some people think that when they're saying they're resetting your PIN, that they're actually also resetting your ATM or your payment card PIN. So this reset password you're talking about, what exactly are you referring to?
Okay, well, so some banks allow you to be able to do what's it called, your PIN, your password reset via the phone, via your phone, right? So sometimes so the reset of PIN is more or less like your transaction PIN. For some people, it's different. The transaction PIN is different from the ATM PIN. So in banks where the transaction PIN is the same, it's possible that when you reset that particular PIN there, it's likely you find that. But anyways, most of the time, this PIN that I'm talking about is your transaction PIN.
Transaction PIN, meaning transaction PIN for your USSD channel.
Yes,
is that what you mean?
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Okay, because I mean, there are people that are listening to us, and we just need to set the facts straight.
Verify. Okay, great.
Because what their bank told them when they were collecting their payment card together with a PIN is that your PIN cannot be changed until you supply the old PIN. So
Yes.
anybody that is changing a PIN on your payment card needs to supply the old PIN. And when the old PIN is correct, then you can now put in the new PIN. So nobody can just take your card and push PIN there and push new PIN and the PIN stays. It doesn't work like that. You know, so that's why we are trying to clarify this thing called PIN, code, password, transaction PIN. Exactly what are these things and what's it? So and that's a clarification I wanted to make. Then I wanted to ask you a couple of questions, yeah? Again, to share knowledge, you know, in the community. So when you're transacting from a mobile phone, either doing internet banking on your mobile phone, doing mobile app on your mobile phone, mobile banking, you know, through a mobile app, or USSD, you know, on your mobile phone as well. There's a difference between the device you're using and then the channel or the platform that is connecting to. So if you're securing your SIM card, you've secured your SIM card, so it cannot be used as a channel to initiate transactions on the USSD platform or the mobile platform or the internet banking platform. Now, my question as Ify on behalf of the audience is, why isn't there a proactive way? Let's say for some reason I've not done this SIM lock, whatever it is. Why isn't there a way I can disable anybody using any device of any sort from transacting on USSD on my behalf? Because I don't use it. So why is it available if my phone is available? These are the questions. There are a couple of us that have never used USSD before. And it looks like somebody can swap your SIM and begin to use it on your behalf. Why is the USSD channel available for me when I've not opted in? Why shouldn't it be blocked until I opt in?
Okay. So I think this question is pretty much bank specific, and I think I mean, so for a channel to be enabled for a customer, it means the bank has actually enabled that particular channel. So I would say that it depends on the bank. If the bank allows USSD from new, existing, old, or new customer, whoever picks up that SIM card can actually start transacting, right? But other than that, for you as a person, if you do not want USSD transactions, you can just walk into your bank and say, guys, I want this USSD thing blocked. I don't want any transaction on my account that is from the USSD channel. And the good thing is that the banks actually can disable transactions from any channel, because those channels are easily identified on their banking platform. So if you tell your bank to say, I do not want transactions from USSD on my account, they can get that done for you.
Okay, I had a related question and I wanted to ask Musun. So moving ahead, you know, in that regard, because we've moved from where we are doing the traditional, even a little bit, what's the word? A little bit, the diluted electronic banking, you know, to very deep digital banking. And you are saying that something happens to your account. Let's say I live in somewhere far flung. I don't know where to mention now without making anybody angry, you know, but somewhere far flung from where banking offices or headquarters or whatever it is. And for some reason, you know, somebody snatched my bag, whatever it is, I'm securing my life, so allow the bag go. And this expert on YouTube is telling me, go and report to your bank. How, when, you know, let's be practical. Which time? It happened on Friday night. And these banks are not going to be available. And a lot of them do a lot of remote things, you know, because COVID and everything, and not everybody goes to the office. What time will I use to go? I should wait till Monday and I'll be sitting down somewhere and the debit will be coming, you know, alert, alert, alert. So have the banks thought about giving the control to me? I've seen it in one or two places, but, you know, I just wanted your view on it, where I can disable myself. And the day I want to use USSD banking, I will enable myself. You know, charge me for it, because whatever it is you're going to charge me for, it's way cheaper than what a fraudster will collect from me. Do you get? How much is it? How much can you charge for that kind of solution? And I disable myself, or I put whatever limits that if anybody gets my SIM card or whatever it is, they will only even be able to collect so much. Maybe I'm at a point where if they don't collect money, they will slap me. So shall I let them collect more money, you know? But let them know, you know, it's true, we're in Nigeria, so we need to talk the streets reality very well, you know. So maybe I just want to leave 5,000 on my USSD or 10,000 on my USSD and not expose my 500K that is my life savings or my 250K that is my life savings. What are there innovations in the fintech industry, especially in Nigeria, that you've seen in this regard? Mosun, do you have anything from your bank, that you can also tell the viewers about? Because people work a lot to make this money. We need to make it secure.
Yes, we do. And most banks have these options now. For example, if your phone is stolen, you could just meet someone next to you that has a phone. And some banks have their codes that you use. Like some of the codes I know is star 911 star, your account number hash, then it automatically freezes your account. Not just disabling you on your USSD platform, it also disables your bank account. So nobody will be able to have access to your account. So that's one way.
Now the person does a swim swap or a swim clone, or whatever it is they are doing. Okay, that's cool. That's interesting to know. Ola, do you have anything to add to that, please?
Yeah, I think Mosumola is spot on. Some banks already provide, even via that same USSD, where you can actually block your account. And then also some banks on their mobile app as well. So they give you the provision for self-service where you can actually block the channels that you do not want. If you're comfortable with web, you can just say you want web only. If you want web USSD, the other channel. So some banks have, so there are innovations around there just to ensure that even though, a lot of people would prefer to go to the banking hall, but you can still do that via the online channels as well to protect yourself.
Okay, thank you. So this was very interesting, particularly for me. I don't know, for every other person that is listening. Thank you so much for taking out time on a Sunday evening to come. I'll just do a summary of the major points, that's of the learnings that we've received from both of you here. The first is there's no reason that a bank would call you to ask for any of your details or to warn you about your account being short. Most people think it's possible, so they just answer the call just in case, make nothing do my money or something like that. So we are reiterating that there's no situation that will arise that a bank would call you like that. Whether it's upgrade, because they might use upgrade, maintenance, moving to a new banking host, all those things, you're clear. Nobody's calling you. So when they call you, educate them and they will abuse you and put off the phone. Then they'll know that you now know, your onion. So that's number one. Number two is the thing called SIM lock, where every telco has their default, PIN, and then you could call and find out what their default PIN is, and then go to your phone and put that default PIN there. I think we'll have something up maybe by next week, how to do that for Android and for iOS, and putting that code there and change it to something you would remember, and that's how your SIM will be locked and you're good if your phone is stolen, for any reason. And then if your phone is stolen as well, there are people around you, that you can, even when you get home, you can get the either the USSD or the mobile app of your bank and lock your phone. No, not lock your phone, and freeze your account. So whether the person is trying to dial from your own phone or dial from a computer or wherever it is, the account, how do they say to Yoruba, OT freeze, nothing is happening. No, nothing is entering inside there, nothing is coming out. And until you're ready, you've gathered yourself together, and then you can go and, start and getting your tokens and your access back. So I hope this was very insightful. Thank you very much, Ola. Thank you very much, Mosumola. We wish you all the best in your careers, and we hope to have you here again on the Payment Log.
Thank you
very much. It's been a pleasure.
So, is that all? Chelsea people want to go and celebrate, I think.
Yes, thank you.